Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on August the 3rd, 2021. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar first. In terms of the data that came out today, we had the PMI numbers, and the PMI numbers here for the US actually came in worse than expected. And as a result of that, we saw the stock market take a hit and oil took a hit as a result of these PMI numbers that were worse than expected. So all in all, this was negative for the stock market, and we saw US dollar go up as a result of the selling in the stock market. So coming up on Tuesday here, we have some employment data here out of Spain, and there's FOMC member speaking, PMI numbers for Canada, just the manufacturing PMI numbers. So not a ton of important data. Now, the employment numbers of New Zealand will be, or for New Zealand will be important. So we'll keep an eye on that. And then retail sales numbers for Australia, as well as the goods and services PMI numbers for China. So Chinese number generally have an impact on Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, just because those countries are tied into China with a trade relationship because of them being neighbors. So that's all we have in terms of the data that's coming up. So let's move on to our charts. We'll start off with euro dollar here. For euro, we have seen that price has struggled with our resistance level. Even today, price went all the way into the resistance at 1.1900 and failed. And now we are into a bit of a support resistance level in both directions here. However, we have a large pin on the top, which means we could see things slide. So watch out for that. Overall, neutral to bearish bias here for euro dollar. In terms of the targets here, the first target would be 1.1850. And then below that, we are looking at 1.1820. So neutral to bearish bias here for euro dollar. However, it could go and retest the high once again, and that's where we need to be careful. It can do this. So watch out. We'll have to watch out for that. It's neutral to bearish bias for euro dollar. 1.1850, 1.1820 are the two targets here. Pound dollar here, this one sliding lower here. Bearish bias, we have a bit of a pin bar. Looking for price to drop here, 1.3835 is the target. So bearish bias here for pound dollar. Aussie dollar here, this one is going sideways at the moment. It's been trading in a range here. And it's been trading in a range for about for a couple of weeks or a little bit longer than that. At this point, price has rejected the support level, which means we are likely to see a move higher. So in this case, looking for price to go higher towards 0.7380 and then 0.7420. So neutral bias here. Basically, I'm just expecting a range bound move from Aussie dollar here. So neutral bias for Aussie dollar. New Zealand dollar, this one as well is going sideways at the moment. As we can see, price hasn't done much. As we can see here, price hasn't done much. Price has just been going sideways here with this as well. It came into support, couldn't get through, and it has just gone back and forth. So bias here is neutral. I'm expecting a range bound move here as well. So neutral bias for New Zealand dollar, expecting price to trade between 0.7020 and 0.6950. If it goes through the support here, then we will look for the move lower. For now, though, this one looks a little range bound. Dollar CAD has been going up, and in this case here, Canadian dollar negatively impacted by price of oil. Oil dropped as a result of drop in PMI numbers, And with that, Canadian dollar didn't do too well either. This is why dollar CAD has been moving up. So in this case, price is coming into resistance though. So we do have a bullish candle close, but we are into resistance. So this is where we need to watch out. If price holds below 1.2525, we are looking for a move back into the support towards 1.2425. So right now, bias is neutral. We don't have a confirmed direction yet, so we'll play it by the ear. Right now, neutral bias. I'm looking for price to retest 1.2525, which is our support resistance level, and then if it holds, we're looking for price to go lower towards the support. If it crosses through, then we will target the high at 1.26. At this point, we do need to give it some time and see which direction it wants to go, and that's where we'll trade. All right, let's take a look at our commodities here. Silver running into resistance here, hasn't been able to get through. So we have a bearish candle close. So I'm looking for a drop here for oil. So bias is bearish, and first target is 25 point. Sorry, looking for a drop here. So 25.25 is the first target, and 25.00 is the second target. So silver is bearish. Gold here, gold is neutral. So overall, we did see that bounce off of the resistance. We had a nice bearish candle close, but today's candle close is neutral, which means this one could go in either direction here. So we'll have to wait for it. But neutral bias, neutral to bearish bias. So overall move was still to the downside here. It's been trading in a range, so I am looking for price to go towards the bottom of the range. So bias here is neutral to bearish. Oil here, oil looking quite bearish here. Keep in mind though, it's right into support. Last few times it has not been able to get through this. So right now looking for a drop and then a continuation. So bearish bias here. And next target is 68.30. So bearish bias. However, if it fails to go through our support level at 70.30, we could very easily see a move back up, and this could become range bound. So watch out for that new bearish bias for oil, but we'll just have to be careful with the support. Copper here, copper also looking bearish. We have a nice bearish candle close. However, keep in mind it's into an important support level. Last time price was here, it bounced off, and it has struggled with this level previously as well. So once we could see a drop here, then this inefficient move here is likely to get filled. So we'll watch out for that. Right now, bearish bias with caution. Next target is 4.31 and then 4.29. So bias is bearish here for copper. Bitcoin here, Bitcoin had a nice run over the last few days. However, we have a big bounce off of the resistance level here, bearish engulfing candle. So this looks bearish. Next target is 36,575. So bearish bias for Bitcoin. S&P 500 is struggling here right into the resistance. Very, very small candle close, so we'll have to be careful with this one here. Neutral to slightly bearish bias, and target would be 4250 target. So 4250 is the target level, bearish bias, neutral to bearish bias here for S&P 500. NASDAQ here, this as well is right in the middle of the range. Price has been trading sideways here, so looking for price to drop. Overall, as we can see, price went into the resistance or close to the resistance and then bounced off. So I'm looking for price to move lower now. 14,780 is the target to the downside, back into the support. And then Dow Jones here, this one also looking bearish. As we can see, price is struggling here. So looking for price to drop further. So bearish bias, watch out for support. It's right into that support. So we need to get through that first. And then next target is 34,680. So bearish bias for Dow Jones. DAX, this one has also gone through this one has also rejected the resistance level here. We have a nice bearish candle close for the day. So looking for price to drop into 15,400. So bearish bias here for DAX. FTSE here, FTSE looks bearish as well. As we can see, price has rejected the resistance. We have a nice pin bar. So looking for a drop back down. So bearish bias here in terms of the target. The first target is 70.30, and then we're looking at 69.90. So bearish bias for FTSE as well. And then last but not least, we're looking at Nikkei. Nikkei has gone in both directions here. So bias really is neutral. So I'm looking for retest of the low, and if it doesn't hold, then we're looking for a reversal here. So neutral to bearish bias. Target is 27,300 for Nikkei. All right, so that's it for today. You guys have a wonderful trading day, and I'll be back again tomorrow. Bye for now.